Hey, good morning, everyone. Jeff here at Beyond Freedom Family. It's a gorgeous Monday morning here in New Hampshire. Nice and cool in the 60s, couple clouds in the sky, sun's out. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Hey, this morning, it's funny how you walk into conversations that sometimes are the most appropriate for the time. I just got back from the gym, and this morning when I was at the gym, I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine that usually goes early in the morning as well. And it tied into things we've been talking about the past couple weeks, the passion test and getting clear on things that we want to be, do, and have in our lives. And we were just talking about how, having intentions. And he was telling about when he lived in California back in like the late 80s, a really good friend of his was a professional bodybuilder. And this friend actually had an occasion to meet with Arnold Schwarzenegger in Arnold's office. And while they were sitting there in Arnold's office, Arnold was at his desk. He opened up the center top drawer of his desk and took out a piece of paper. It was a list that he had written clearly long before that of things that he desired to accomplish in his life. And the things that he'd already accomplished, he crossed off. Ironic, a couple things are on there. Mr. Olympia, he'd already crossed that one off. Governor of California. Movie actor, obviously he'd already crossed that off. But it just goes to show that even someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger, whether you like him or not, he has this incredible knack and ability to be hyper-focused on his goals. And even he had written out at one point in his life all the things that he wanted to accomplish in his life. He kept that list in his office so he could look at it on a regular basis, crossed off the things that he accomplished. That way he could focus on the things he still had to work on and accomplish. Pretty impressive. He then took his list, put it back in the top drawer of his desk, closed the desk drawer, and that was pretty much the end of their conversation. But it just goes to show, there's tremendous power in having intentions and goals and desires and passions. And the thing is, most of us, we don't have that ability like an Arnold Schwarzenegger, or if we do, we aren't able to tap into it. But that ability to just stay hyper-focused on the things that we want and then continue to take action, to be driven day after day after day. And that's the beauty of the passion test, because basically the passion test allows us to tie into the things that we love the most, that we're most passionate about. And then once we do that, we're able to actually dial in on those even more, and write down indicators that tell us we're on the right path. And then write out a couple paragraphs about how we feel when we have those things in our lives, we've accomplished them. Those ways we're able to actually paint a really, really clear picture in our minds of what it's like. And that helps us to stay focused and helps us to stay on task. So if you haven't done the passion test yet, I encourage you to sit down and do it. It'll take you the better part of a week if you really dial in. But you'll probably learn an awful lot about yourself, the things you want, and you may just find some ways to help yourself stay dialed in with things that you want in your life and help you to stay passionate. Excuse me, I've got deer flies bugging me while I'm making the video. But if you're not in a place where you feel you can commit that much time, that much mental energy, if you don't have a list written out of things that you want in life, just take some time and do that. Back with the original Beyond Freedom program, part of that was called the 101 list, where you would actually sit down and you would write out 101 things that you want to accomplish in your life, 101 things you want to be, do, or have during your life. It's not easy to do. You really have to, think about it, or you just have to let your mind go wild. And ideally, if you let your mind go wild, you're going to write down things and you're not going to think about them too much, because if you think about them too much, you're going to talk yourself out of it. So if you can't do the passion test now, then take some time, write down things that you want in your list, your life. 101 list, you can call it a bucket list, whatever you want to do. But the important thing is to get in touch with things that you want, and pick your most importance and focus on those. It helps to give us passion. It helps to keep us motivated. It helps to keep us in a positive energy place where we're contributing to the world, we're contributing to ourselves and being our best selves. Keeps us out of those negative places, and that certainly isn't any place we want to be. So on that note, I wish you an amazing Monday. You absolutely deserve it, and we'll see you tomorrow.